Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video. Before we do get started guys, today's date, the 24th of December. It is Christmas Eve and yes, me and Chris are in the workshop. This is only for a couple of hours and we thought, you know what? A lot of you do mention it throughout the year. I've noticed it quite a few times, Chris, and I know you have as well, about the workshop. So, you know guys, Chris keeps this place tip top. He's always on top of the maintenance, but sometimes where we've had a real busy year, haven't we? We have been non-stop. We've put out a lot of content, but we do notice that a few of you say about the workshop floor. Guys, this does want quite a nice time to cure. A lot of people do paint the old workshop floor and the next day they're driving on it and it really doesn't last that long. So you've got to wait for that period where nothing's going to be on it. And Chris said, Rob, this year, I'd really like to get this done. So Claire's indoors preparing dinner for tomorrow. Chris has been in there in the other room doing a bit of tidying up. And we are going to move everything out of the way. And we are going to start the process of getting this workshop floor back tip top, ready for next year, for next year's videos. It is really nice when it's all painted. And it's a nice atmosphere to work in, and when you drop something on the floor you just grab it, you know, it's there straight away. So this is the centre line, Chris, isn't it? Just over the bench, just right through the workshop there we got a centre line, and everything this side of that line we need to move. So the Fiesta, we finished the video on that. We're going to put that right up in the air. That's not going to be in the way. The John Deere lawnmower, again, quite a lot of you mention that in videos. It just cut out on Chris one day. He put a new carburetor on it, put a couple of other bits on it, and it still won't run. He said, you know what? I think the air piston rings have had their day. So, you know, at some point, he's going to whip the engine out of that and give that a little bit of an overhaul. But for today, we need to move that out of the way. All of the stuff just lower down, we're going to need to move, and everything out of there. So we've got the dozer and the jig. That's out of the way. That's all over there. So really not... There's quite a lot to do. Chris, we'll probably do that today as well, right?
What's that?
We're having a new chimney, aren't we?
We are.
So we'll probably move that over today as well. And then we can get right underneath it. So the log burner's going to have to go. Guys, there's not really a lot to say, Chris, is there? We're just going to have to crack straight on and get all of it. It's going to look a bit of mayhem over there with everything stacked up. But let's crack straight on with it, mate. So to be honest guys, that really didn't take us that long. It was about 28 seconds on the time lapse and it's probably took us about 20 minutes or so. So we got rid of all the oil cans and I just went in there with the brush from the dustpan, give all of that a sweep out and then vacuumed it up as I was going. And then of course underneath there, you can see underneath the rack there, the floor's actually lovely anyway. But really important is getting rid of all that dust. So we are going to have to damp cloth the whole thing after, obviously, a bit more on the broom. And of course, a load more vacuuming because you just don't want that dust. It'll just ruin it. Chris is just cleaning out the log burner, disconnected the oil tank. People still ask, Chris.
Yep.
About the little drip feed oil tank that he's got there. So he's going to get that cleaned out and we're actually going to move it right out of the way and we're not going to put it back until the floor's dry. And of course we've got a new chimney for it because it's had a bit of use, mate, already this winter, this one, isn't it?
Been a chimney too long, mate.
That has been a chimney too long, mate. You're right. That one tickles me every time. Right, we're going to crack on, guys. Really need to get this done. Bit of work there, guys. I think we started about 11:30, Chris. I don't know what the time is now. Probably. 1 o'clock. So not a bad run there, about hour and a half. And this side of the workshop is completely ready. Apart from, Chris is just going around wiping up a bit of excess dust. And then he's going to chuck a damp cloth on the end of the broom and just go round and pick up all of this loose dust on the floor. Apart from that, mate, that didn't take us that long. No. And it looks really nice and clean already, doesn't it? Even though we haven't painted it. So Chris did say to me, actually, guys, we sat down and had a coffee a minute ago. He went, although a lot of people will appreciate us doing this and will enjoy the video, it's probably going to be a little bit boring for people, Rob. So do please put a little bit in there. So little tiny bit of an update. I'm going to actually ask Chris to speak an update on his two, first of all, and then we'll move on and I'll let you know about a few of the others. So Chris, HA Viva, talk to us.
HA Viva, yeah, hopefully I'll get enough time over Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the back axle back together. We've already filmed half that video.
We have got quite a lot of that,
taking it apart, so
if you get time,
by the time this goes out, that may already have gone out. I don't know. It depends when I get it done.
Right. Okay. So you're going to have a plan on that, and your dad's Morris commercial.
Yeah, I've got to collect. I said that last time. I still haven't collected the last bits from the painters.
Right.
And the paint for the rear body because I'm doing that myself.
You are, aren't you?
So, but we need that spray booth cleared really.
Yeah.
For me to put that in there.
So next year. They're going to be.
They will be. Yeah.
Well on the way, won't they?
Yeah, I think we're probably going to. Strip the Viva to a complete, or I'm going to strip it to a complete bare shell and blast it.
Yeah.
So that'd be quite interesting on the channel.
That will be interesting, won't it? Because we haven't done anything like that.
I want to paint that myself. So.
Are you going to paint the Viva yourself in the spray?
Yeah.
Again, everyone always says, "Why don't Chris do it?" So again, they'll really enjoy that. Me and you both had a bit of a chat about the long-term and sort of classic projects, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we had the Golf out there, we got the Escorts out there, both of them. We got the Range Rover there, and I think when we actually did put it out in that Golf video, we're going to try and just not get involved in buying 5 or 6 like restoration projects and taking them on. We're just going to concentrate on maybe 1 or 2 at a time. So guys, a little bit of an update now on the vehicles we got. So the Range Rover Classic, I mean, so many of you always say, what's going on with it? But there is still quite a lot to do on this. The other bits are around the paint shop. And I think I told you all, we was waiting for him to come back with those other 2 panels and these door tops. Well, we haven't even put them in yet. They're in the back there, sorry. So these door tops, so there's still a couple of those round there. Actually, that one's got to go round and be painted. Maybe the others are done, Chris. Have we got the others back? The door tops, we must have.
No, there's one that I've welded up.
That's that one now.
Is that one there?
Yeah.
That Discovery one.
Right.
That's got to go for paint.
And the others have got to be picked up. So next year, look, we want to see this out of the workshop.
Well, we are held up for a couple of bits. Rear window regulators.
Yeah.
So we've got to try and track them down.
Roof lining.
Roof lining restoration kit.
And we need all new guttering, i.e. these. They've all gone hard and brittle, so.
And Liam was going to take the windscreen out at some point for us.
He is going to cut that out.
Put the scuttle back in.
Yes. Because the scuttle goes under that rubber and we want a new one on it, don't we?
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. But yeah, we will get round to it.
We do want to get on this. We want this out of the workshop, don't we? So.
We do, really.
We will be getting on that. Right, let's move outside just quickly. So the Audi A1, guys, you all know about that. It has got to go on the frame and measuring system. So we're going to be getting on with that in the new year. We're not even going to talk about it for a moment. We need to get the bits for it as well. Fiesta ST, you would have recently watched a video on this where I couldn't quite get it nipped in the bud. Chris said, Rob, leave it, let's do another video on it. And we have got a bit of a plan to do some other bits on it. So wheel arch liners, wheel refurbs, etc, etc. Get that car 100% done, and then that one can go out the door. So the Escort RS Turbo, we decided, sorry, Chris has just walked out. We decided that's another one, that's MOT, new brakes. That car starts, runs, drives, and is legal to drive on the road. It just needs paint work. So what we'd like to do, January, is actually get that bit of paint work done, and we're going to put that straight up for sale, because there's there's a few bits to do. Wheel refurb, they're the wrong colour,
Yeah.
put the indicators in, etc, etc. We're not going to get into it, but that car will be available, whether it looks like that or it's had the paintwork done. In January, that's going to go, because we have gone as far as we can go with that car. It just needs paintwork. I am going to give a little tiny bit of a sneak peek update on this car, but guys, please don't message me until I actually put the post out. So you know, after we repaired that car, we have got quite a lot of surplus parts from this car, i.e. a full set of alley wheels and tyres, all full set of lowering kit. There is loads and loads of parts, and what we're actually going to do is we're going to lay them all out and we're going to sell them as a job lot, right Chris?
Yeah.
And that is going to come off of the numbers for that car. So that's the plan with them. Escort RS2000, I mean, we've been ticking over with that anyway, so no need to update. There will be a video in January. A lot of you do always ask about that. That is just a vehicle that Chris uses around the farm if he needs to, but we actually nick some bits off of it to get the LSE going. So that's non-runner. Right, do we need to go out there?
Mercedes is at the paint shop.
The Mercedes E350 is at the paint shop. The motorhome, we can't wait to get in. There's one more seal to do on it, right?
Yeah, there's that we're going to do that in the new year quite pronto, I think. Really.
Definitely.
We want that all done and up for sale for the spring, don't we? Really.
Yep.
What we got? Fiat 500.
The Fiat 500, I actually took home one night and started having problems with it straight away. I rung you up, didn't I? Headlights were flickering. I hit a bump. The hazards come on. The switch wasn't on. That car's still got electrical problems. Yeah. So what we actually did was went down to Kent Auto Salvage, got a BCM for it, and I've actually sent the BCM away with the BCM out the car to have it cloned, because it's got a BCM issue, hasn't it? What else is out there?
Black Focus.
Oh, the Black Focus. Got a letter this morning from DVLA.
Yeah,
the logbook was out of date, so we sent it off to get it updated. They actually sent me back a refund this morning. I don't know if I've told you, because I'll put a logbook in. And the Berlingo van's out there. We've got another video coming on that very soon. And I think that is all of the projects, mate.
I think so, yes.
Someone's going to say that we've missed one, but that is a project update, I think.
Yeah, I think that's it, mate.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so we're going to move on now. Get this floor all wiped over and ready to lay down the paint. So guys, it is Christmas, and Chris just said, Rob, it's getting late now. It's like 2 o'clock. Let's 2 o'clock. Let's just leave it here. And he said, it's everything's out of the way. The hard part of it, everything moving everything out of the way is the difficult part, and the cleaning. So the running around with the paint, he said, I'm bound to get time over Christmas. Excuse me. So we will just leave it there, and he'll paint it over Christmas, and then obviously time lapse that or video some of it and then send it to me as soon as he's completely finished. So hope everybody has a lovely Christmas, or has had a lovely Christmas. Yeah, this will probably be after Christmas, so hope you all had a lovely time. Quite a lot of you did reach out to us on Instagram and YouTube wishing us a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So thank you all very much for that. We really do appreciate it. Right, we'll pick up once Chris gets cracking. So guys, Chris cracked on and got that done. The next day, he actually painted out this side, and it took a couple of days, you said, didn't you, Chris, to cure off?
Yeah, it was a bit tacky.
It was a little bit tacky, so he let it go rock hard and then stripped everything out of the other side, and there was a lot of stuff. And I've just turned up this morning to say hello, and he's cracking on, and he's got that patch left to do that side. He stripped out everything over this side, managed to get the old Range Rover up in the air on the ramp. So you've got a little bit to do underneath that ramp, Chris, once we get that out of the way.
Yeah. We're not too worried about that.
No, we're not, but how much nicer does that look, guys? Really, really does make a difference. It's just gone round all the edges, and then I'll have to get out of the way in a minute because he'll be painting this part and it will be completely done, but really has made a nice difference. And these little light patches, they're just filler in the cracks. So that's, when did you put that down, Chris, the filler?
This morning.
So that's all gone off now?
No, it's still be a bit soft. It's like flexible mastic type stuff.
And you can paint straight over it?
No, you've got to let it dry off. That's why I haven't painted them bits.
Right,
So
okay.
I'm leaving them till the very last. I think the roller will pull it up if you...
Right, okay.
It's quite cold in here, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Well, we're no log burner. So there you go. Loads and loads of progress there, and starting to look very, very smart again. We've got a nice new workshop, guys. I was just saying to Chris, actually, he did say that it's still a little bit tacky. Yeah, you can see where I've stood on it. I've left footprints on it already. I said to Chris, even just to see that Range Rover up in the air like that is really nice. It looks like something's happened to it, but all done. All the floor is all painted. Chris did say it's very, very good paint. It could have done with 2 coats, but again, this will last quite a while now. If we get another holiday, maybe we can go over it again. Chris popped over to Machine Mart, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Machine Mart, one of them. We've got a nice new chimney and the bench grinder that we use all the time over there. Just there. Quite often I use that for polishing up wheel bolts and grinding things back. And Chris said, Rob, I've actually got another one of those that we never use, and it's in the tool room. So what he's decided to do is actually get that out, and he's bought a kit to go on it, actually for proper polishing. Nice new riv nut set, and of course some Clark stove paint. So we're actually going to give the log burner a nice fresh coat of paint as well. It's going to have a nice new chimney. It's a new year. Let's get it all nice and start off fresh. But guys, let us know what you think in the comment section down below. It wasn't as quick as it looked on the time lapse. Chris said it did take quite a while to do, but overall, very, very nice. We're going to have to give it a wipe over once that side's completely dry. You can see where it hasn't been walked on, and this one, of course, we've been walking around on it, but it will be really, really nice to come back to work in a couple of days, and we can start off fresh in a nice, clean workshop. So guys, there you go, another year over, and how quick it has gone. I've been reading quite a lot of the comments throughout the videos throughout Christmas. I always read them anyway, but in particular, you know, really getting in depth from people say, how many projects have you done this year, guys? And genuinely, we would have to sit down and count them up, but it's certainly a good few. And I think 99.9% of them have been a complete success. Guys, I'm going to try and do this quick because I'm in the kitchen. I've got the washing machine on, and last year that all went horribly wrong when it started going crazy. Actually, let's pause it. We'll pause that for a minute, otherwise it could be going crazy while I'm talking. So let's start off with the Bentley, the highlight of the channel in the last few months. The video has gone crazy. Quite a lot of you have reached out and said, Rob, are you aware it's in the trending section? And we are, yep. You do get an email to let you know. trending's brilliant. I mean, it's so nice to get in there, but it doesn't really do anything in particular, anything bigger or better. We've had it a couple of times before, and they don't really do any better than what they're doing anyway. So, but it's still nice. I mean, I think there's 20 in the trending, and we was at 20. And with a previous video, we got to number 2. And I think that was around Christmas time one year anyway. So the Bentley guys, the majority of the questions and the comments on there have been, when is part 2? And the other questions have been, what's going on with it? Have you got it running? And I've actually replied to a couple of people, but I'm going to put it out there now. Guys, we are doing this. It is a channel, and it's based on the videos. And I genuinely didn't really mean to leave that suspense in the last video, but that is how it had to end. And if I replied to everyone or did a community post updating on the car, then the next video would be irrelevant. So many people put other things in there of ideas to do, and quite a lot of them ideas are already in process and already well on the way. So quite a lot of people said, why don't you go and get the ECU tested? Well, there's a little sneak peek, guys. The ECU is being tested. So we're not just going to dive straight in and buy a new one, because ultimately we don't want to spend loads of money on that car to end up handing it back. We really, really do want to get that car going, and there will be another video on it in the very near future. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be the day after, but don't forget, it's been the Christmas period. And having things like the ECU and modules checked, everybody's shut. So it is a bit of a time process, and we will get to the bottom of it. Fingers crossed. So fantastic year. Thank you everybody for the love, support, your comments, the shares. This year has been incredible. It has been absolutely incredible. The comment section, a lot of times this year, I've really, really struggled to keep up with. I'm also going to bring up one of the most commonly picked on situations, and that is, Rob, you're not doing anything. Chris is in the workshop working on the cars. Guys, me and Chris are 50-50, 100% a team. And believe me, I'm not sitting in the back room eating my packed lunch. The parts don't just land at the workshop. Sometimes I'm driving Birmingham, London, Dartford, Essex all the time. And we like to get the projects done in a little as episodes as possible. So we don't have 20 episodes. We nail straight down, get those bits as fast as we can, and crack on with them cars. So what do you think of the workshop? Let me know in the comment section down below. Chris worked really hard there for a couple of days. I actually had family over, and he had a spare couple of days, so to speak. He did say over the Christmas period he'd kind of penciled it in to do it, and he's painted that floor. And when I went over there, I was like, wow, it just looks so much nicer, and it is a nicer environment to work in when you're rolling around on the floor or you drop things, etc, etc. So guys, that is going to be the last video of this year, and I am looking forward to next year. Chris is as well, and we're looking forward to all of you guys watching, hitting that thumbs up and dropping us a comment. I always say it, we can't tell you what's coming next year because we don't even know ourselves. If something comes up and it takes our eye, we will be buying it if we can. Just a quick one as well. You would have seen Chris put out a community post yesterday. Loads and loads and loads of you reached out to me on Instagram over Christmas. It just kept binging, bing, 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 Instagram with saying, Rob, give us an address, want to send you a little something. Guys, we really, really do appreciate all of those messages, and it is really, really nice of you to reach out. But unfortunately, we haven't got a PO box address at the moment, and I'm really, really sorry about that. But one of you subscribers actually reached out, Chris read it and said, look guys, just open this. And they shared something with Chris, and Chris actually went ahead and opened that, and it's a buy me a coffee account. So if any of you don't feel obliged to do so, it's just for you guys that reached out and said, we'd really like to do something for you guys. So the link for that is in the description down below. And if you want to buy us a coffee, feel free. But of course, no obligation, and we're not asking for it. It's genuinely for you guys that said you would like to do something. So hope everybody has a lovely evening this evening. We can't really go out and go too crazy, but I hope you make the best of it anyway. Don't forget, please like, subscribe, continue sharing, and we'll see you in the new year.